All right, thanks for joining us today for this quick preview of the Fast Forces from Spider-Man and Venom Absolute Carnage. Now we're going to look at three of the figures in this advanced look from Wizkids. We only have access to the front of their card, so we'll take a look and break that down. We'll get into more detail once the rest of the dials are revealed. But today we're going to look at Spider-Man, Mysterio, and Carnage. First up is Spider-Man. He is coming in with improved movement elevation, the Spider-Man team ability, which gives him wild card. He has a special damage power and a trait. The special damage power is super senses, but succeeds on a 4 through 6, so a 50-50 shot at super senses. The trait is super cool. It is Marvel Team Up. When establishing theme teams, choose a named keyword a character on your starting force has. Spider-Man gains that keyword. So just like in the comics, Spider-Man finds his way onto all kinds of crazy team-ups, and this is the way they can represent that in Heroclix. So not only can you use that to get him onto some named theme teams, but you can do that to give him the named keywords for other things that look for characters that share keywords. We know that he will have Charge, Run and Shot, and Flurry. He's going to come in with Quake and Incap, and Combat Reflexes and Super Senses. He'll also have Perplex. Now, we don't know how long he has those on his dial or on what clicks which powers are combined, but we'll see that when they reveal the rest of the dial. Next up is Mysterio. He has improved movement hindering, and he has the Sinister Syndicate team ability. That's where you can share the attack value with other figures that are adjacent that have that same ability. He has one special movement power, which is Mind Control, Sidestep, and Stealth. But he has a trait that has three things going on inside of it. So he has a trait that has, at the beginning of the game, generate a robot minion bystander. He also has power, generate a robot minion bystander, maximum 2, and he has passenger 2, but only to carry robot minion bystanders. We'll notice on his card he has Mastermind, so Mastermind with generating Pogs is a good combination because then you can just Mastermind damage onto the Pogs. Since this bystander is in the Dyson token pack, we see what they have to offer. So they do have a damage reducer in toughness. So Mastermind, a 0-point Pog, and a reducer is pretty cool. The Pog also comes with Force Blast, Quake, and Shape Change. They're autonomous, so their actions do not count against your action total. Force Blast is pretty cool with Pogs that have low attack values because you can just get them up there. They're regular size, so you can knock back other regular size figures or smaller without having to do the attack roll. So depending on what your opponent's power set is, you can get the Pogs up to them and then Force Blast them away to give you a chance to reposition or to give you a chance to deal some knockback damage depending on what the board looks like. I also like Shape Change on 0-point Pogs to use them as tie-up and have a chance to roll out and to keep your opponent tied down while the other figures come in and do their attacks. Mysterio is also going to have Phase and Teleport, Smoke Cloud, Mastermind and Super Senses, Prob, Shape Change, and Outwit. So the three pretty good damage types of powers. The Prob, Shape Change, and Outwit are useful in all kinds of situations. Okay, last up is Carnage. He's coming in with improved movement elevation. He has two traits. The first one is plasticity and shape change, which you see on a lot of the symbiote characters. You'll notice that we don't have automatic breakaway on this one, so you're just picking up the plasticity bonus to your breakaways. So that's a little bit different than previous symbiote type of abilities. Okay, his second trait though is pretty cool. It's once per turn, when Carnage hits, after resolutions, deal 1 penetrating damage to up to 2 opposing characters that weren't hit but are adjacent to a hit character. So even though we don't know what this Carnage has, and there's not really a lot of Carnages in Heroclix to look at for reference, the ones that we do have, they usually have some kind of small range, like a 4 range or so. So that's pretty cool with this ability because you could hit up close, you could hit from range, and then deal that 1 penetrating damage to opposing characters that are adjacent to the hit character. Notice a couple things here. If you get Carnage to do some kind of knockback through doubles or through different things you can put on them, this penetrating damage is looking for opposing characters that are adjacent, and it looks for that after resolutions. So you hit a character, knock them back into other characters, then that could trigger the one penetrating to those adjacent characters that were not hit. Another thing to keep in mind is the figures have to be adjacent after resolutions. So if you hit a low pointed character that might only have a couple clicks and you KO them, then there's nobody adjacent afterwards to that character because the character is off the map. So there's nobody there to give the penetrating damage to. So keep that in mind as you use Carnage. If you have a character that has support figures around them, if you attack the support figure because they would usually have a lower defense, you might KO them and not be able to deal the penetrating on to the main or secondary type of attacker. So if you go after the one with more clicks, then you could usually deal penetrating to take care of some of those smaller characters that might be around them. All right, that's our quick look at the fast forces. We'll look at them in more detail once the dials are revealed, but that way it gives you an advanced look at some of the cool traits and abilities that these figures are bringing to the table. I hope you enjoyed the quick look at them today, and thanks for watching.
Check it out. If you dig what we do, go ahead and like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.